How are you? I hope you will be fine. Now, in the last class, I have taken the topic life processes. In the life processes, I have taken the topic autotrophic mode of nutrition in plants, especially photosynthesis. We have discussed about the process of photosynthesis, also the structure of leaf, and in the structure of leaf, especially stomata, structure of stomata, closing and opening of stomata with the help of the guard cells, we have discussed. Now, other than the photosynthesis, I have taken one point also, nitrogen. Nitrogen is an essential element for the plants. Why plants require nitrogen? Nitrogen is considered as an essential element for the plants. Why is it so? Because nitrogen is used to form some important compounds like protein and other organic compounds for the plants, which are used further by the animals also. Now the thing is here, how plants get this nitrogen. We know nitrogen is present in the gaseous form in the atmosphere, and from the atmosphere nitrogen, this atmospheric nitrogen can't be used directly by the plants. So how they will get? Nitrogen is taken by the plants in the form of compound, and the conversion of nitrogen compound is known as the nitrogen fixation. We have discussed in the ninth class already. Inorganic it is obtained in the two forms, inorganic and organic compounds of nitrogen, and these are then used to form protein and other important compounds. Now we have to discuss next mode of nutrition, heterotrophic nutrition. Hetero means others. This is the mode of nutrition in which organisms depends for their nutrition on other organisms. We can say directly or indirectly on plants and other sources. We know plants are the only organism that can get the solar energy directly and convert this solar energy into chemical energy as the food, and other organisms depends directly on plants like herbivores or indirectly on plants like the carnivores or omnivores. Now thing is here, types of heterotrophic nutrition. If we talk about the types of heterotrophic nutrition, then it is of three types. It is mainly of three types. First is saprophytic nutrition, second parasitic nutrition, and third is holozoic nutrition. Saprophytic nutrition, parasitic and holozoic mode of nutrition. Sapro. Sapro means dead and decayed. Sapro means dead and decayed. So in such type of mode of nutrition, organisms derive their nutrition from dead and decayed organic matter. Dead and decayed organic matter is which are the organic matter? Organic matter are the remaining parts or waste material of the organisms. So saprophytic, in this mode of nutrition, organisms derive the nutrition from the dead and decayed organic matter. And in this mode of nutrition, One thing you should know, the body of the organism, any organism may be there, they can utilize food into simpler form only in the simpler form. You know, food components, carbohydrates, protein, fats, these are the complex forms, and organisms can utilize only simpler form, and this conversion of the complex food into simple form by a process called digestion. Digestion means breakdown of the complex food component into simpler form. So in this mode of nutrition, food broken down outside the body. These organisms breaks down food outside their body. Why outside their body? Because these are actually microscopic mainly. For example, like bacteria, fungus, like many example fungus like yeast, mucor, rhizopus, which is also known as the bread mold. So there are many examples. So they do not have a specific body design. So what they do, they secrete some chemicals on the food, and these chemicals break down the complex food into simple form outside the body, and then they absorb this simple form and utilize. Now parasitic. In the parasitic food mode of nutrition, they organisms live on or inside. In this mode of nutrition, organisms live on or inside the body of other organisms and take their nutrition from their body. It means what? One thing comes here, without killing. Without killing them. This is the main point here. Why they do not kill? Because they live on or inside the body of the other organisms, which are known as the host organisms, and they derive their nutrition from their body without killing. If they kill, then they will not be able to get the nutrition. There are many examples are there, but before this you should know, they take prepared nutrient means in the simpler form. They take food into simpler form. It means they do not need to digest. They do not need to digest because they already take the digested means simpler form of the food. Example, if we talk about the examples in plants, amarvel, also known as the kaskuta. If we talk about the animals, animals are the two types of parasite, external and internal. External parasite and internal parasite. External parasites, examples like the ticks, lice, leachage, okay, ticks, lice, leachage. So they are external parasites, they live on the body, they do not enter in the body. Internal parasites like tapeworm, it is a member of Platyhelminthes. In the last stage we have discussed already. Roundworms, okay. So this comes in the internal because they live in the intestine. They live in the intestine of the animals or especially in the human, and they get their nutrition. So these are the second type. Now holozoic. In the holozoic nutrition, these organisms take food inside their body and digest. They take food inside their body and digest before use, before the use. It means they take, first of all they take food inside their body and then digest it. Digest means they convert the food into simpler form in their body and then use. So what can we say? If we talk examples, many examples are there. Most animals, we can say most animals like amoeba, unicellular organism, amoeba, human. Many examples are, most animals use this holozoic mode of nutrition. Again I am telling, saprophytic depends on the dead and decayed organic matter. Parasitic nutrition, organisms live on or inside the body of the organism and derive nutrition without killing them. Holozoic nutrition, they take food inside their body, generally they take in the solid form and digest before the use. It means they digest the food outside their body, no need to digest, and they digest food inside their body. So this is the three types of nutrition. In our syllabus in the 10th standard only holozoic nutrition is there. First of all we will discuss about what is the holozoic mode of nutrition. Now come to the point, holozoic nutrition. Holozoic nutrition, as already I have told you that in this mode of nutrition, organisms take their food inside the body first, that is ingestion, and then digest into simpler form and then utilize. So this type of nutrition is divided into 5 steps. First step is ingestion, second digestion, third absorption, fourth assimilation, and the fifth is egestion. Ingestion. Ingestion means taking food inside the body. The process of taking food inside the body through various organs is known as the ingestion. Digestion. Taking food inside the body. Digestion. Digestion means breakdown of complex food into simpler form by chemical processes. Breakdown of complex food. I have told you already, protein, fat, carbohydrate, these are the complex forms and our cells can utilize only simpler form. So this complex food is converted into simpler form by the chemical processes. Here I want to tell you chemical processes, what are used? Enzymes. You have heard already the word enzymes, and these enzymes are actually known as the biocatalysts. Catalysts are the chemical compounds that helps in accomplishing a process, and as they help in the accomplishing digestion process in the organism, so biological process, that's why these are known as the biocatalysts. Absorption. Absorption means after the digestion of the food, breakdown of the food, these food should be transported to various parts of the cells or various parts of the body. So it should be mixed. Mixing of digested food. into bloodstream or other fluid. I have taken the word other fluid. Why other fluid? Like we human being or other animals, they which have blood, then this digested food will mix in the bloodstream. If bloodstream not there, suppose unicellular organism are amoeba, no blood is there, so what is there? Cytoplasm or fluid material. So other fluids may be there, which can transport this digested food. Now assimilation. Assimilation means in this process, this absorbed food is taken in by the cells. Absorbed food is taken in by the cells and used for energy, growth and repair. Energy, obtaining energy for growth and development of the body, for repairing, or you can say maintenance of the body. You know, the different types of cuts are there, wounds are there, cells die and new cells are formed. So this continuous maintenance, repairing process, maintaining process, growth and development of the body parts, okay, continuous energy is obtained. So these are all comes in the assimilation. Now egation. Egation, E for exit. This is, you can say, exit of undigested and non-assimilated part of food. This is the exit of the undigested and non-assimilated part of the food is known as the egation. Different methods are used in different types of organisms for the egation also. So all organisms use these 5 steps in the holozoic nutrition. Now we will take examples of this holozoic nutrition, 3 examples. First of all, in the unicellular organism, amoeba and paramecium, and the one is in the multicellular organism, and we like human being. Okay, so now first of all I am going to take nutrition in amoeba. So now I am taking the first example of the holozoic nutrition in amoeba. So there are 5 steps: ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, negation. As you know, amoeba is a unicellular organism and it has a irregular shape, no definite shape is there. So first of all, amoeba. No particular shape is there. So whenever amoeba found any food particle, then it forms temporary finger-like extensions of cell surface. This is the food. These temporary finger-like extensions are known as pseudopodia. Pseudo means false. Whenever word comes pseudo means false. Podia means feet, false feet-like structures. And these pseudopodia covers the food particle and fuse over it. Like this. And after fusion, they make food vacuole. They make a food vacuole. Inside the food vacuole, digestion takes place, and you will be surprised that the similar enzymes are present. As in our protein enzymes, pepsins is there, trypsins are there. Similarly, trypsin is present in the amoeba also. So, in the food vacuole, digestion takes place, and after digestion, assimilation what happens? After digestion, the simpler food diffuses into cytoplasm. No blood is there. So another fluid is cytoplasm. Through the cytoplasm, this digested food then distributed to the different cell organelles, and after in the cell organelles, assimilation means utilization of the food take place. After digestion, food vacuole goes toward the cell surface and remaining part thrown outside the body. Here you should know, if gases gases wastage diffused outside and the solid parts are there, then they thrown outside the cell by burst process. So here all the 5 steps are used. You have seen all the 5 steps are used. Ingestion by using pseudopodia, digestion inside the food vacuole by using pseudopodia, digestion inside food vacuole, absorption in cytoplasm by diffusion, assimilation by cell organelles. You know cell organelles like the endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, mitochondria. Ligation through cell surface. Here if we compare this amoeba with paramecium, we talk about the paramecium. Paramecium is also a unicellular organism, but it has a fixed shape. Paramecium have many fine hair-like structures all over the surface. It has many these fine hair-like structures known as cilia. It has a particular spot known as oral spot. This is oral groove. Inside their food vacuoles are already present and cytoplasm is there. It is very surprised that it has 2 nucleus. You know already micro and micro. This is the anal pore. As paramecium have fixed shape, so first step, ingestion of food. Ingestion of food is take place through a specific region. A spot is present that is known as oral spot. Oral means mouth. It acts as a mouth, the entrance of the food. That's why this is spot known as the oral spot. Cilia. Cilia are the fine hair-like structure which continuously moves. With this continuous movement, they push the food particle towards the oral spots. So they take food inside with the help of cilia. Inside the same digestion takes place inside in the food vacuole. Inside the food digestion takes place. The similarly absorption in the cytoplasm by diffusion, and then assimilation by the different cell organelles, and then ligation. For ligation, it has a specific region known as the anal pore. Anal, you know, anus, the exit through which we exit the fecal material or waste material of the digestion. So anal pore is found through the which this ligation takes place. So if we compare the amoeba and paramecium, first of all in the ingestion takes place with the help of pseudopodia, here with the help of the cilia. They ingest food through the cell surface, they ingest food through the oral spout. For the exit of food means in ligation through the cell surface, in paramecium through the anal pore. So we can compare the process of the mutation of amoeba and paramecium in these 3 points. Okay, I hope you have understood well about the ology of nutrition up to paramecium. Now further I will discuss about the nutrition in human being in the next class.